The dimly lit gallery fell silent when she spoke. Zuri's voice cut through the murmured Korean like a blade, clear, fearless, direct. Kang Min-ho turned slowly, his cold eyes meeting hers across the crowded room. No one ever challenged him. Not here. Not anywhere. But this woman, curves wrapped in midnight silk, stared back without flinching. His chest tightened with something unfamiliar. Danger radiated from him in waves, yet she stepped closer. "You don't scare me," she whispered. The air between them crackled. Everything was about to change. Welcome to Unfold Korean Stories. Please like, share, and subscribe. This story is entirely fictional. All characters, names, and events are imaginary. The Seoul Art Gallery buzz with carefully controlled conversations. Wealthy collectors move through the space like sharks circling prey. Zuri stood before a canvas that reminded her of home. Bold reds and deep browns swirling into golden light. She didn't hear him approach. "You have good taste." His voice was low, accented, dangerous. Zuri turned. The man before her wore power like a second skin. Dark suit tailored to perfection. Sharp jawline. Eyes that could freeze or burn. She recognized authority when she saw it. "I have my own taste," she replied calmly. "Whether it's good is subjective." Something flickered across his face. Surprise, maybe. He extended his hand. Kang Min-ho. She took it. His grip was firm, his palm warm. "Zuri." Their hands lingered a moment too long. Later that evening, Min-ho sat in his private office above the city. His second-in-command, Jae-sung, waited silently. "The woman at the gallery," Min-ho said. "Find out who she is." Jae-sung nodded and left. Min-ho poured himself whiskey, but didn't drink. Her face remained in his mind. That direct gaze. That refusal to bow. No one refused him. Yet she had. The next morning, Zuri sat in her small apartment reviewing contracts. She'd come to Seoul 6 months ago to expand her art curation business. The city had been challenging, beautiful but guarded, formal but passionate. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Dinner tonight. I'll send a car. K." She stared at the message. Bold. Presumptuous. She typed back. "Who is this?" The reply came instantly. "You know who." Zuri smiled despite herself. She did know. "I don't accept rides from strangers." "Then meet me. 8 o'clock. Address below." She shouldn't go. Every instinct screamed caution, but curiosity burned hotter than fear. She went. By 8 o'clock, Zuri arrived at an exclusive restaurant she'd only read about. The hostess looked at her once and led her straight through. Past waiting customers, past velvet ropes, into a private room. Min-ho stood when she entered. "You came. I'm curious. That's all." He smiled barely. "Sit." The meal was exquisite. They spoke carefully at first. Art, cities, culture. But beneath every word ran an electric current neither acknowledged. "Why Seoul?" he asked. "Why not? Most people need a reason." "I'm not most people." His eyes darkened. "No, you're not." The air thickened between them. "What do you do, Min-ho?" Zuri asked, leaning forward slightly. He paused. "I manage interests." "That's vague." "Deliberately so." She laughed. A rich, genuine sound. Caught him off guard. "You're used to people not questioning you," she observed. "Yes. That must be lonely." Something cracked in his expression. Just for a second. Then the mask returned. A few days later, Min-ho attended a business meeting in Gangnam. His associates discussed expansion, territory, leverage. He listened with half his attention. His phone buzzed. A message from Zuri. "Found a gallery showing Ghanaian contemporary art. Thought you might appreciate it." She'd remembered their conversation about cross-cultural artistic movements. He excused himself from the meeting, something he never did. "Send the location," he texted back. Within the hour, they stood together in a small gallery in Itaewon. Zuri explained the artist's techniques, the historical context, the emotional narrative. Min-ho watched her more than the art. "You're passionate about this," he said. "It's my life's work." "Why?" She turned to him. "Because art tells truths that words can't. It crosses borders. Connects souls." He stepped closer. Close enough that her perfume, something warm and spicy, filled his senses. What truth is this painting telling? He asked, gesturing to a canvas of intertwined figures. Zuri's breath caught. He was so close. Too close. That connection is dangerous, she whispered. But necessary. His hand rose, almost touching her face. Then he stopped, pulled back. I should go. He left her standing there, heart racing. Later that week, Zuri met with a potential client. The meeting went well until she mentioned her connection to Min-ho. The client's face went pale. You know Kang Min-ho? We've met a few times. Why? The client gathered his things quickly. I'm sorry. I can't do business with you. He left. Confused, Zuri called her friend Mina, a Korean-American journalist. Mina, what do you know about Kang Min-ho? Silence on the line. Then, Zuri, be careful. Very careful. Why? He's not just a businessman. He runs one of the most powerful underground organizations in Seoul. Politics, construction, entertainment. He controls more than you can imagine. Zuri's stomach dropped. He's dangerous? She asked quietly. Extremely. But also untouchable. The authorities can't prove anything. He operates in shadows. After hanging up, Zuri sat in silence. She should cut contact. Walk away. But she didn't want to. The next evening, Min-ho appeared at her apartment door. How did you find my address? Zuri demanded. I find everything I need to find. That's not comforting. He stepped inside uninvited. Her small space seemed to shrink around his presence. I know you've learned about me, he said. And I'm giving you a choice. Walk away now. Or stay knowing what I am. Zuri crossed her arms. You don't scare me with your warnings. I should. Why are you here, Min-ho? He moved closer. His hand cupped her face gently, so gently it contradicted everything she'd learned about him. Because I can't stay away, he admitted, voice rough. Her heart hammered. This is a mistake. I know. You're dangerous. Yes. I should tell you to leave. You should. Neither moved. The kiss, when it came, was inevitable. Soft at first, then deeper. Desperate. His hands tangled in her hair. Her fingers gripped his shirt. When they finally broke apart, both were breathing hard. Zuri, he whispered against her forehead. Don't, she said. Don't make promises you can't keep. I keep my promises. She pulled back to look at him. Then promise me the truth. Always. I promise. The next morning, Zuri woke in her bed alone. A note sat on her nightstand. Had to handle business. Dinner tonight? She smiled despite her better judgment. But at her office, trouble waited. Her landlord stood with an eviction notice. What? Why? Building's been sold. New owner wants everyone out in 30 days. That's not legal. It's already done. I'm sorry. After he left, Zuri called the number on the sale documents. No answer. She searched the company name online. It was a shell corporation. Untraceable. But she had a sinking feeling she knew who was behind it. By evening, when Min-ho arrived for dinner, Zuri confronted him. Did you buy my building? He didn't deny it. Yes. Why? The previous owner was corrupt, embezzling from tenants. I removed him. And just happened to evict everyone in the process? I'm relocating everyone to better housing. At my expense. She blinked. What? You deserve better than that place. Everyone does. You can't just control things like that. I can. I do. But not to hurt you. Zuri shook her head. This is too much. You're too much. I know. He stepped closer. But I won't apologize for protecting what matters to me. I'm not yours to protect. His jaw tightened. Not yet. The possessiveness in his voice should have angered her. Instead, it sent heat through her body. Min-ho. Tell me to stop and I will. Tell me you don't feel this and I'll walk away. She couldn't. Because she did feel it. This impossible, dangerous pull. A few days later, Min-ho took Zuri to a private dinner at his penthouse. The view overlooked all of Seoul. Glittering lights stretching to infinity. It's beautiful, she breathed. You're beautiful. She turned to find him watching her with an intensity that stole her breath. Tell me about your family, she said, deflecting. His expression shuddered. There's nothing to tell. Everyone has a story. He poured wine, silent for a long moment. Then, my father built this organization from nothing. He was ruthless, cruel. When he died, I inherited everything, including his enemies. Is that why you're so guarded? I'm guarded because trust is a luxury I can't afford. Yet you trust me. He looked at her. Really looked. Yes. God help me, I do. After dinner, they stood on the balcony. The night air was cool. Min-ho removed his jacket and draped it over her shoulders. Thank you, she murmured. He stood behind her, close but not touching. She could feel his warmth, his presence. Zuri, he said quietly. If you stay with me, there will be danger. People will target you to hurt me. Are you trying to scare me away? I'm trying to be honest. She turned in his arms. Then hear my honesty. I'm not fragile. I'm not helpless. And I make my own choices. His hand traced her jaw. You're extraordinary. The kiss was slower this time. Tender. Full of unspoken promises. When he pulled her inside, when his hands explored her curves with reverence, when their bodies finally came together, it was everything. Intense, consuming, perfect. Afterward, wrapped in his arms, Zuri felt both safe and terrified. The next morning, reality intruded. Min-ho received a call that made his entire body tense. What is it? Zuri asked. Rival organization. They're making moves against my operations. Is it dangerous? He kissed her forehead. It's handled. Stay here. I'll have guards posted. Min-ho. Please. For me. She nodded reluctantly. After he left, the apartment felt too quiet. Too large. By midday, Mina called. Zuri, there's chatter online. Kang Min-ho is in some kind of conflict. You need to be careful. I'm at his place. He has security. That's not enough. These people, they play for keeps. After hanging up, Zuri paced. She hated feeling trapped, protected but powerless. When her phone rang again, she answered without looking. Miss Zuri. An unfamiliar voice. Male. Cold. Who is this? A friend. I have information about Kang Min-ho. Meet me, and I'll tell you the truth about who he really is. I'm not meeting anyone. Not even to learn about the people he's killed. Her blood ran cold. Where? She heard herself ask. An hour later, Zuri slipped past Min-ho's guards. She told herself she just needed answers. Clarity. The meeting place was a cafe in Hongdae. A man in an expensive suit waited. Miss Zuri. Thank you for coming. Who are you? Someone who wants to free you from Kang's influence. He slid a folder across the table. These are his crimes. Documented. Proven. She opened it. Photos. Reports. Names. Her stomach turned. He's a criminal, the man continued. Dangerous. Violent. He'll destroy you. Why do you care? The man smiled coldly. Because I want what he has. His territory. His power. And taking his woman would be poetic. Zuri stood abruptly. I'm not anyone's to take. She left the folder and walked out. But the damage was done. Seeds of doubt planted. That evening, when Min-ho returned, he knew immediately something was wrong. What happened? Who was Kim Tae-young? Zuri asked quietly. Min-ho went very still. Where did you hear that name? Answer me. He sat down heavily. He was a rival. 5 years ago, he tried to kill my sister. I stopped him. Did you kill him? Silence. Min-ho. Yes, he said finally. I killed him. To protect my family. Zuri's hand shook. How many others? Does it matter? Yes. He stood, crossing to her. I won't lie to you. I've done terrible things. I've hurt people. Destroyed lives. I am exactly what you've heard. Tears burned her eyes. Then why am I here? Because despite everything I am, you saw something worth knowing. And God knows, you're the only good thing in my world. She wanted to believe him. Wanted it desperately. I need time, she whispered. Pain flashed across his face. How much time? I don't know. He nodded once. I'll wait. As long as you need. The next week passed in agony. Zuri threw herself into work. Min-ho sent no messages, made no demands, but flowers appeared at her new apartment daily. Always her favorites. Mina visited with concern. You love him, don't you? I don't know. Zuri, be honest. With yourself at least. She broke then, tears flowing freely. Yes, I love him. And it terrifies me. Why? Because he's dangerous. Because loving him could destroy me. Mina took her hand. Or it could save you both. By the end of the week, everything shattered. Zuri was leaving her office when Min grabbed her. A van. Chloroform. She woke in darkness. A voice spoke from the shadows. The man from the cafe. Don't worry. This isn't about hurting you. It's about hurting him. Terror gripped her. But beneath it, anger burned. You're making a mistake, she said. Am I? Kang Min-ho will give me everything I want to get you back. You don't know him. I know he's weak now. Because of you. Meanwhile, Min-ho's phone rang. Unknown number. We have her. His world stopped. If you harm her. You'll what? You're already broken, Kang. Meet me. Alone. Or she dies. Min-ho didn't hesitate. He went. But not alone. Jae-sung and his most trusted people moved through shadows. The exchange location was a warehouse by the Han River. Min-ho entered alone as instructed. Where is she? The rival boss smiled. First, sign over your operations. No. Then she dies. Touch her, and you won't live to see morning. The man laughed. You have no leverage. Gunshots. Not from Min-ho. From above. Jae-sung's team moved with precision. Within minutes, Zuri was free. Min-ho reached her, pulled her into his arms. You're safe. I have you. She clung to him, shaking. Later at a safe house, Zuri finally spoke. You came for me. Always. You could have been killed. Worth it. She pulled back to look at him. Really look. Past the danger. Past the darkness. To the man beneath. I love you, she said. His eyes closed. When they opened, they glistened. Say it again. I love you, Min-ho. All of you. Even the parts that scare me. He kissed her then. Desperate. Grateful. Reverent. I love you. He whispered against her lips. I'll spend my life proving I'm worthy of that. The next morning, Min-ho made calls. Restructured operations. Delegated power. What are you doing? Zuri asked. Making changes. I can't leave this world entirely. But I can step back. Build something legitimate. For me. For us. A few days later, they stood on his balcony again. But everything felt different now. I want to build a gallery, Zuri said. A real one. International artists. Cultural exchange. I'll fund it. As a partner. Not a benefactor. He smiled. Deal. She leaned into him, his arms wrapping around her. Are you sure about this? She asked. About us. More sure than I've ever been about anything. Below them, Seoul glittered with possibility. 6 months later, the gallery opened. Zuri stood in her creation. A space that merged Korean and African art, Eastern and Western philosophy. Min-ho appeared beside her in a tailored suit. More businessman now than crime lord. Proud of you, he murmured. Couldn't have done it without you. You could have. But I'm grateful you didn't. Guests began arriving. Mina. Jae-sung. Artists from around the world. Later, when the crowd thinned, Min-ho pulled Zuri aside. I have something for you. He produced a small box. Inside a ring, elegant, unique, perfect. I'm not asking for an answer tonight, he said. But when you're ready. I want forever. Zuri's eyes filled with happy tears. Yes. 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 Now. Forever. Always. He slid the ring on her finger and kissed her as applause erupted around them. 1 year later, they stood in a garden ceremony. Small. Intimate. Perfect. Zuri wore a dress that honored both their cultures. Traditional African fabrics merged with Korean silk. Min-ho's vows were simple. You challenged me when no one else dared. You loved me when I didn't deserve it. You changed my world. I promised to spend every day earning your love. Zuri's vows were equally simple. You showed me that strength and gentleness can coexist. You protected me while respecting my independence. You're my home. I choose you. Today and always. When they kissed, the small gathering cheered. That evening in their shared penthouse, Zuri stood on the balcony one more time. Min-ho joined her, wrapping his arms around her from behind. Happy? He asked. Completely. No regrets. Not one. Below them, Seoul continued its eternal dance of light and shadow. But up here in their sanctuary only light remained. I love you, Mrs. Kang, he whispered. She turned in his arms, smile radiant. I love you too. Their future stretched before them. Uncertain, yes, but filled with promise. Built on truth. Strengthened by choice. Together they'd faced darkness and found light. Together they'd found home. 3 months after the wedding, Zuri sat in her gallery office reviewing expansion proposals. The business had grown beyond her wildest dreams. 3 satellite locations were now in development, one in Busan, one in New York, one in Accra. Min-ho entered quietly, carrying coffee. You're working too hard, he observed. Says the man who was up at 5 reviewing contracts. He smiled, setting the cup beside her. Fair point. She pulled him down for a kiss. Even now, months into marriage, the chemistry between them hadn't dimmed. Dinner with my mother tonight, he reminded her. Zuri's smile faltered slightly. Right. Min-ho's mother had been complicated. Polite but distant. Accepting but not welcoming. She'll warm up, Min-ho assured her. It's been a year. She's traditional. Give her time. Zuri nodded but doubt lingered. That evening, they arrived at the Kang family estate. The traditional hanok was breathtaking. All wood and stone in careful elegance. Min-ho's mother, Mrs. Kang Sun-hee, greeted them formally. Min-ho. Zuri. Mother. Min-ho kissed her cheek. Zuri bowed respectfully. Dinner was exquisite and tense. Conversation flowed in Korean, which Zuri was still learning. She caught perhaps half of it. Mother, Min-ho said in English. Please. For Zuri. Sun-hee's lips thinned. This is a Korean household. This is my wife. The table fell silent. Zuri touched Min-ho's hand gently. It's all right. I'm learning. I should try. She spoke in halting Korean. Thank you for dinner. It's beautiful. Sun-hee's expression softened microscopically. Your pronunciation needs work. I know. I'm trying. Something shifted. Not acceptance exactly, but acknowledgement. After dinner, Sun-hee pulled Zuri aside. You make him happy, she said in careful English. He makes me happy too. He has changed. Since you. Less angry. More alive. He's a good man. Sun-hee studied her. You believe that? Truly. I know it. The older woman nodded slowly. Then perhaps you are good for him. It wasn't much, but it was something. The next morning, Zuri met with her business partner, a Korean woman named Lee Ji-woo. The Busan location is perfect, Ji-woo said. But we have a problem. What kind of problem? The building owner is refusing to lease to us. Says it's already promised to another tenant. We had a contract. He's claiming breach on our end. Some technicality. Zuri's stomach sank. Let me guess. The new tenant is connected to someone in Min-ho's past. Ji-woo's silence was answer enough. By midday, Zuri confronted Min-ho in his office. Did you know about the Busan property situation? He looked up from paperwork. What situation? She explained. His face darkened. Who's the building owner? Park Sung-min. Min-ho's jaw clenched. He's working with Choi. My old rival. The one from. Yes. Zuri sat down. This is because of me. Because of us. This is because Choi is a vindictive bastard who can't accept that he lost. What do we do? Min-ho stood, coming around the desk. We fight. Legally. Legitimately. I'm not that man anymore, Zuri. I won't use the old methods. Even if we lose the property? Even then. I promised you a different life. I'm keeping that promise. She stood, wrapping her arms around him. I love you. I love you too. And I'll protect what we're building. The right way. A few days later, Min-ho's legal team filed suit against Park Sung-min for breach of contract. The case made headlines. Former underground boss now fighting in courtrooms, not streets. The media attention was intense. Photographers camped outside their building. Reporters shouted questions. Zuri hated it. "This will pass," Min-ho assured her. "Will it? Or is this our life now?" He cupped her face gently. "If it is, we'll face it together." But the pressure mounted. Threats arrived. Anonymous messages warning Zuri to leave Korea. "Leave Min-ho." She told him about them. "I'm increasing security," he said immediately. "That's not living. It's surviving until this blows over." "And if it doesn't?" He had no answer. Later that week, Zuri received a call from her father in Nairobi. "Zuri, I'm seeing your name in international news. What's happening?" She explained everything: the marriage, the business, the current troubles. "Come home," her father said. "Leave this man and this chaos." "I love him, Baba. Love shouldn't come with death threats. His world is complicated, but he's changing it. For us." Her father sighed. "You're stubborn. Like your mother was." "Is that a compliment?" "Sometimes." A pause. "If you're staying, then I want to meet him. Properly." "Really? If he's my son-in-law, I should know him." Zuri smiled through sudden tears. "Thank you, Baba." The next evening, Zuri told Min-ho about her father's request. "I'd be honored to meet him," Min-ho said. "He'll ask hard questions. I'd expect nothing less. He's protective. As he should be. You're his daughter." Zuri kissed him softly. "You're a good man, Kang Min-ho. I'm trying to be. For you." 2 weeks later, Zuri's father arrived in Seoul. Joseph Omandi was tall, dignified, a professor of history. The meeting was at Min-ho and Zuri's penthouse. Min-ho had dressed carefully, respectful but not subservient. Joseph shook his hand firmly. "Mr. Kang. Professor Omandi. It's an honor." They sat. Zuri served tea, then wisely retreated slightly. "My daughter speaks highly of you," Joseph began. "She's generous. She's honest. Which is why I'm concerned about what I've read." Min-ho didn't flinch. "Ask me anything. Did you build your fortune through crime?" "Yes." Joseph's eyebrows rose at the direct answer. "I inherited a criminal organization from my father," Min-ho continued. "I ran it for years. I did things I'm not proud of. Hurt people. Broke laws. And now I'm building something legitimate. Transitioning away from that world. It's slow, dangerous, but necessary." "Why?" Min-ho looked at Zuri. "Because she deserves a man who builds instead of destroys. Because I want children someday who can be proud of their father." Joseph followed his gaze. "You love her. More than my own life." Pretty words. True words. Joseph leaned back. "If you hurt her, I don't care how powerful you are. I will make it my life's mission to destroy you. I'd expect nothing less." They stared at each other. Then Joseph smiled slightly. "You'll do." That night, after Joseph went to his hotel, Zuri collapsed against Min-ho. That was terrifying. "He's a good father. Protecting you. He likes you. He tolerates me. There's a difference. It's a start." Min-ho pulled her close. "Your family matters to me. Because you matter to me." She looked up at him. "Make love to me." He did, slowly, thoroughly, worshipfully. Their bodies knew each other now. Every touch precisely calculated for maximum pleasure. Afterward, wrapped in sheets in each other, they talked about the future. "If we have children," Zuri said, "I want them to know both cultures. Korean and Kenyan." "Agreed. I want them to speak multiple languages." "Of course. I want them to be kind. Above all else." Min-ho kissed her forehead. "They will be. Because they'll have you as a mother." The next morning, Joseph joined them for breakfast. He seemed more relaxed. "Tell me about this gallery of yours," he said to Zuri. She lit up, explaining the concept, the artist, the vision. "I'd like to see it," Joseph said. "Really?" "Of course. It's your passion. I want to understand it." At the gallery, Joseph walked through slowly, studying each piece. "This is remarkable, Zuri. You've created something important." "Thank you, Baba." He turned to Min-ho. "And you support this?" "With everything I have." Joseph nodded approvingly. "Good." A few days later, the court ruled in their favor. Park Sung-min's breach of contract was undeniable. The Busan property was theirs. But victory was bittersweet. That same day, an explosion rocked one of Min-ho's legitimate businesses, a construction site. No one was killed, thank God, but the message was clear. Choi wasn't done. Min-ho held an emergency meeting with his remaining loyal people. This ends now, he said. But we do it right. Legal channels. Evidence gathering. We destroy him the way the law intended. Jae-sung spoke up. That could take months. Then it takes months. I'm not going back to the old ways. After the meeting, Zuri found him on the balcony. You're doing the right thing, she said. I hope so. Because it's costing us. Short-term pain for long-term gain. He pulled her against him. When did you become so wise? I married a complicated man. I had to adapt. He laughed. A real genuine laugh. The sound made her heart soar. By the end of the month, Min-ho's investigators had compiled damning evidence against Choi. Financial fraud, bribery, corruption. They turned it over to prosecutors. Choi was arrested within days. The news sent shockwaves through Seoul's underground. Kang Min-ho had won without firing a shot. The message was clear: he changed. Evolved. Became something new. 3 months later, Zuri stood in the Busan gallery at its grand opening. The space was perfect. Modern and traditional blended seamlessly. Min-ho stood beside her, greeting guests. Her father had flown in again for the occasion. So had Min-ho's mother, who actually smiled at Zuri. You've done well, son, he said in English. Thank you, mother. The use of mother instead of Mrs. Kang made the older woman's eyes soften. Perhaps you could teach me about African art. So I understand what my son loves. Zuri's heart swelled. I'd be honored. That evening, after all the guests left, Min-ho and Zuri stood alone in the empty gallery. We did it, she said. You did it. I just helped. We're partners. In everything. He turned her to face him. I have something to tell you. Her heart skipped. His tone was serious. What is it? I'm officially out. Completely. I've transferred all remaining underground operations to people I trust to dismantle them properly. I'm done with that world. Tears filled her eyes. Min-ho. I'm just a businessman now. Boring. Legitimate. Yours. She kissed him hard. You're mine. That's all that matters. 6 months later, Zuri discovered she was pregnant. She told Min-ho over dinner at home. He just returned from a business trip. I have news, she said, heart pounding. Good or bad? Good, I think. I hope. Tell me. We're having a baby. He froze. Completely still. Then tears welled in his eyes. A baby? Yes. He crossed to her in 2 strides, lifting her gently, spinning her once. We're having a baby. His joy was infectious. They laughed and cried and held each other. The pregnancy wasn't easy. Zuri experienced severe morning sickness. Min-ho was attentive to the point of being overbearing. I'm fine, she insisted after he tried to carry her to the bathroom. You're pregnant. With our child. I'm allowed to worry. Worry quietly. From a distance. He smiled but stayed close. Her father flew in for a month to help. So did Min-ho's mother, who transformed into a doting soon-to-be grandmother. In Korea, pregnant women must rest, son, he insisted. In Kenya, pregnant women work until labor, Joseph countered. They argued good-naturedly while Zuri rested on the couch, amused. Min-ho juggled business and caretaking. He attended every doctor's appointment, read every parenting book, converted a room into a nursery. You're nesting, Zuri teased. I'm preparing. You reorganize the baby clothes by color. They needed organizing. She loved him more every day. 7 months into the pregnancy, complications arose. Preeclampsia. The doctors ordered bed rest. Min-ho canceled everything. Moved his office home. Never left her side. You don't have to do this, Zuri said. Yes, I do. You're my world. Both of you. The fear in his eyes broke her heart. We'll be okay, she promised. You can't know that. I know you won't let anything happen to us. He held her hand, pressing it to his lips. Never. At 8 months, the doctors decided to induce labor. The risk to Zuri and the baby was too high to wait longer. The labor was long, painful, terrifying. Min-ho never left her side. He held her hand, breathed with her, encouraged her. "You're so strong," he whispered. "So brave. I'm scared." "I know. Me too. But we're in this together." After 18 hours, their daughter was born. Tiny, perfect, crying lustily. The doctor placed her on Zuri's chest. Min-ho's hand covered both of them. "She's beautiful," he choked out. "She's ours," Zuri whispered. They named her Amara Sunhee Kang. Amara meaning grace in Igbo. Sunhee for Min-ho's mother. When Sunhee heard, she wept openly. The first months of parenthood were chaos. Sleepless nights. Endless feedings. Exhaustion. But also joy. Incredible, overwhelming joy. Min-ho was a natural father. Patient. Gentle. Devoted. Zuri watched him rock Amara at 3 a.m., singing softly in Korean, and fell in love with him all over again. "You're amazing," she told him one night. "I'm terrified I'll break her." "You won't. She's so small. She's strong. Like her parents." He looked at Zuri, then at Amara. "I never knew I could feel this much. Love. Everything. Love. Fear. Hope. Purpose. Welcome to parenthood." 6 months after Amara's birth, they hosted a celebration blending Korean and Kenyan traditions. The dole ceremony met with a Kenyan naming ceremony. Family from both sides attended. Friends. Business associates. Amara, dressed in tiny hanbok, grabbed at the items placed before her. A Korean tradition to predict her future. She chose a paintbrush. "An artist," Zuri laughed. "Like her mother," Min-ho added proudly. Later, Joseph blessed Amara in Swahili while Sunhee offered Korean prayers. 2 cultures. 1 family. A year later, the gallery empire had expanded to 5 countries. Min-ho's legitimate businesses thrived. They bought a house with a garden where Amara could play. Life was good. Not perfect. Parenthood remained exhausting. Business challenges continued. But they faced everything together. One evening after putting Amara to bed, they sat on their balcony, their favorite spot. "Do you ever regret it?" Min-ho asked. "Choosing this life. Choosing me." Zuri took his hand. "Never. Not once. Even with all the complications? Especially with them. Easy love isn't real love. What we have, what we've built, that's real." He kissed her softly. "I love you, Zuri Kang. I love you too." Below them, Seoul sparkled. Above them, stars shone. And between them, a love that had survived darkness, danger, and doubt. A love worth fighting for. Worth building on. Worth everything. 2 years later, Zuri opened her 6th gallery. This one in Seoul's most prestigious district. The event attracted international attention. Min-ho stood beside her at the ribbon cutting, Amara on his hip. "Mama!" Amara called, reaching for Zuri. She took her daughter, kissing her chubby cheeks. Cameras flashed. Questions flew. "Mrs. Kang, how do you balance motherhood and business?" "Carefully. And with an amazing partner." "Mr. Kang, any regrets about leaving your previous life?" Min-ho smiled. "None whatsoever. This is my life now. My family. My purpose." Later, when the crowds dispersed, the 3 of them walked through the gallery. Amara pointed at paintings, babbling happily in a mix of Korean, English, and Swahili. "She's going to be unstoppable," Zuri observed. "With you as her mother?" "Absolutely. With us as her parents." Min-ho stopped, turning to face Zuri. "I want another baby." She blinked. "What?" "I want Amara to have a sibling. I want to expand our family." "You want more sleepless nights?" "I want more love. More chaos. More life." Zuri considered, then smiled. "Okay. Yeah. Let's have another baby." He kissed her there, in the middle of her gallery, their daughter between them. 9 months later, their son was born. Kofi Min-jae Kang. The delivery was easier this time. Faster. Less scary. When Min-ho held his son for the first time, Zuri captured the moment on her phone. 2, he said wonderingly. "We have 2. We do. I'm outnumbered." "You love it." "I really do." Amara, now 3, was fascinated by her baby brother. She wanted to help with everything. Gentle, Zuri reminded her constantly. I know, Mama. Baby Kofi is tiny. Min-ho's mother visited daily. Joseph extended his stay in Seoul. The house filled with family love noise. It was perfect chaos. 5 years later, Amara started school. Kofi was in preschool. The galleries numbered 12 worldwide. Min-ho had successfully transitioned entirely into legitimate business. His past was just that, past. They'd bought a vacation home in Kenya, visiting regularly so the children knew Zuri's homeland. Life had settled into a beautiful rhythm. One evening after the children were asleep, Min-ho found Zuri in her home office. Working late. Just finishing a proposal. Come here. He sat beside her. She showed him plans for a foundation, providing art education to underprivileged children across Asia and Africa. This is ambitious, he said. I know. Too much. No. It's perfect. Very you. I want to use what we've built to help others. He cupped her face. You have the biggest heart. It's one of the million reasons I love you. Only a million? At least. They kissed softly. Even after years of marriage, the spark remained. Remember when we met? Zuri asked. The gallery. You challenged me. You scared me. You didn't show it. I was terrified, but intrigued. I couldn't stop thinking about you. I tried to stop thinking about you. Failed miserably. He laughed. We've come far. We have. And we're not done yet. 10 years after their wedding, they renewed their vows. A beach in Kenya. Sunset. Intimate gathering. Amara and Kofi stood beside them. 8 and 5 now, beautiful and bright. 10 years ago, Min-ho began. I was a different man. Dark. Lost. Dangerous. Then you walked into my life and changed everything. Zuri smiled, tears threatening. You challenged me. Loved me. Saw past what I was to who I could be. You gave me a family. Purpose. A life worth living. He took her hands. I promised to spend the next 10 years, and every year after, earning your love. Being the man you deserve. The father our children need. The partner you can rely on. Zuri's turn. Her voice was steady despite emotion. 10 years ago, I fell in love with the most complicated man I'd ever met. You were dangerous, yes, but also kind. Protective. Real. She squeezed his hands. You've grown so much. We've grown together. Built something beautiful. You're my home, Min-ho. My partner. My love. I promise to continue choosing you. Every single day. They exchanged new rings, simple bands engraved with their children's names. When they kissed, Amara and Kofi cheered. Family and friends applauded. The sun set over the Indian Ocean, painting the sky in golds and purples. Perfect. That night in their beach house, after the children were asleep, Min-ho and Zuri lay together. Happy? He asked. Incredibly. Any regrets? Not one. You. Only that I didn't find you sooner. She turned to face him. We found each other at exactly the right time. You really believe that? I know it. We both needed to grow into the people we are. The people who could build this life together. He kissed her forehead. Wise woman. I try. They made love slowly, tenderly. Years of intimacy meant they knew exactly how to please each other. Every touch deliberate. Every moment savored. Afterward, wrapped in each other, they talked about the future. What do you want most? Zuri asked. More of this. Family. Love. Building good things. That's it. That's everything. She kissed him. I love you, Kang Min-ho. I love you, Zuri Kang. Always. 15 years after that first meeting in the Seoul gallery, their life was rich beyond measure. Amara, now 13, showed remarkable artistic talent. Kofi, 10, was studying music. The galleries numbered 20. The foundation had helped thousands of children. Min-ho's legitimate business empire was one of Korea's most respected. They'd weathered challenges, raised children, grown together. One evening, the whole family gathered for dinner. Amara talked about her art project. Kofi played a new piano piece. Min-ho shared business news. Zuri discussed foundation expansion. Normal. Beautiful. There. After dinner, after the children went to their rooms, Min-ho and Zuri stood on their balcony. Older now, but still finding magic in Seoul's lights. We did good, Zuri said. We did great. Our kids are amazing. They get that from you. From us. He pulled her close. She fit against him perfectly the way she always had. I'd do it all again, he said. Every moment. Every challenge. Every choice. If it led here. To us. To this. You. Them. This life we built from ashes. She looked up at him. Gray touched his temples now. Lines marked his eyes. But those eyes still held the intensity that first captivated her. You're still the most beautiful man I've ever seen, she said. You're still the only woman I've ever loved. They kissed as the city sparkled below them. Two people from different worlds who'd found each other. Fought for each other. Built something extraordinary together. A love story that started with danger and defiance. That grew through trust and transformation. That bloomed into family and forever. Epilogue. 20 years later. Zuri stood in the newest gallery, number 25 in Tokyo. At 60 she was still vibrant, still passionate about art. Min-ho, 63, stood beside her. His hair was silver now, his movements slightly slower. But his presence remained powerful. Amara, now 33, ran the Asian galleries. She'd married a Japanese artist and had 2 children of her own. Kofi, 30, was a concert pianist traveling the world. The grandchildren for so far brought new joy. That evening at a family dinner, everyone gathered. 3 generations. Multiple cultures. Boundless love. Halmiani, tell us the story, one grandchild begged Zuri. What story? How you and Harabiaji met. Zuri looked at Min-ho. He smiled, eyes twinkling. Well, she began. It started at an art gallery in Seoul. I was a young curator from Kenya. The children listened enraptured as she told the story, edited for young ears of course. Later, when the house quieted, Min-ho and Zuri sat together. Still think I'm dangerous? He asked, echoing their first conversation. Dangerously handsome. He laughed. And you're still not afraid of me? Never was. Not really. You changed my life, Zuri. You changed mine too. He took her hand. The same hand he'd held 20+ years ago. Now marked with age, with life, with love. Another 20 years? He asked. At least. Promise. Promise. They sat together holding hands, watching their family. Their legacy. A black woman who dared to challenge a Korean mafia boss. A dangerous man who became something better. Together they defied odds. Broken barriers. Built bridges. Together they created a love that transcended culture. Conquered darkness and endured everything. Together they'd found forever. And that was the greatest masterpiece of all. Please like, share and subscribe.